Fear and manifestation. These are two things that absolutely do not mix. We all want to understand how to manifest our dreams, our hopes, our desires to ultimately live a more fulfilled and happy life. And there are many ways on how to actually manifest the things that you want in life. But what I want to do is I want to actually show you why you don't manifest the things that you want in life and what is stopping you. What things get in your way? And one thing in particular that often gets in the way of your ability to create the things that you want, of your ability to actually do what is most natural to you, whether you believe it or not. You see, manifestation is one of those things that we are constantly doing. It's in fact impossible to not manifest, to not create. That is part of who we are as beings. Our essence comes from the Creator. Therefore, we are creators naturally. When we are doing something, say when you are creating something, building something, planning something, strategizing something, when you're on your journey toward achieving a goal, you are in the process of creating. You are creating. And that brings the most joy and fulfillment to you. We often think it's this thing that we get, the actual destination that creates happiness for us. But actuality, it is the process. Creating is what brings us joy and happiness. The thing that stops you from creating the thing that you want the most, the thing that you are intentionally wanting to create, you are consciously wanting to create, is fear. You see, fear is one of those things that paralyzes us so much that it makes it almost impossible to manifest the things that you want. Fear creates an inability to actually be your natural self. It creates the stagnation of energy. When you are fearful, you are actually impeding your natural processes, your natural abilities. You see, with fear, it comes up for you when you are in doubt of yourself, when you are second guessing yourself, when you are feeling that you are not in alignment with what's going on, what's happening, or it's something that you completely don't want to happen. That's when you feel your most fearful. But in actuality, when you think about the grand scheme of things and you think about your connection with the universe and how the universe works by way of your conscious and subconscious mind, then you understand that there is truly nothing to fear, because everything that happens is in favor of you, for you. So when you realize that connection between yourself, the universe, the divine, and how it is all one and connected, then you realize that everything that is happening is in alignment and with purpose to help you wake up to who you really are. Now let's go back to fear. You see, fear is an expression of your ego. Your ego has a purpose. Your ego is to protect you while you're on this earth, while you're in this physical body, on this physical realm. It is to create a separation for you to be able to identify yourself from another. Now, the issue is when that ego is unmanaged, mismanaged, then it creates too much of a separation in areas of or aspects of who you are that should not be seen as separate from the other. Say, for example, your spirit, your soul, your consciousness should not be seen as separate from the spirit, the soul, the consciousness of everything around you, and especially of the universe. So as we go through our spiritual journey, what we're doing is we're learning to manage that ego, learning to manage that fear. You see, the ego creates fear in order to protect you from physical harm, also emotional harm. So as you manage that ego and you come to grips with this idea that everything that happens to you is in your favor, for you to wake up, for you to learn mindfulness, self-awareness, for you to learn how to cultivate a peaceful well-being and state of mind, then you are dismissing or you're learning that the value of fear has no value at all, because fear isn't real. Fear is something that is made up. It is something that you imagined in your mind. You fabricated in your mind, in your imagination as a possibility. That is what the ego has done. And as you learn to manage the ego and see its purpose, then the fear goes away. So as you desire to create this thing, whether it be this big business idea, this big opportunity that's going to change your life, but you're questioning whether or not you are able to risk investing in this business because what if it doesn't work? Or what if you have this dream opportunity where you have to travel to the other side of the world and you're fearful that it may not work out or something could happen to you? Or you meet this amazing individual and you wish to pursue a relationship with this person, but based on your past experiences, the fear has been created to stop you from pursuing a dynamic and beautiful relationship with somebody else. Fear stops us from being our fullest potential. It stops us from the opportunity to actually enjoy life. Now, as you wish to create and manifest the things that you desire, you have to acknowledge that fear is preventing you. That fear is causing you to question whether it's the right time, whether you're going to do it right, whether, the weather is right, whether you're wearing the right thing, whether you look a certain way. It is creating all of these excuses that stops you, that creates procrastination, hesitation, and ultimately not getting the thing done which you need to do in order to create. You have to realize that fear is going to throw a wrench in your machine, right? Your machine of creation, your process of creation. So as you acknowledge the ego and what it is made for, right? To protect you, to protect your body, and you realize that you are not in harm's way, that anything that you are around is not made or going to physically harm you or destroy you, then you can manage that fear. And you can acknowledge that you don't need to be fearful. You can acknowledge that in order for you to create, you have to do. You have to take action. You have to trust in the universe, trust in your oneness and connection with the universe in order for you to actually move forward in creating the thing that you want. You see, many times people think that fear looks like, somebody who is hungry or aggressive when it comes to manifestation. And it's not like that. We all manifest things differently. Some people are very aggressive with their, ability or their desires and their pursuit towards creating the thing that they want. Some people are very passive and they're very calm, while many people are somewhere in between those two. You have to understand what works for you. But out of all those things, people tend to think that fear is for those who identify themselves as hungry or aggressive. They're not fearful. They're just somebody who likes to take that approach when it comes to their manifestation, and they identify that as working best for them. For you, just acknowledge how you're feeling. If you're feeling fearful, if you're feeling like this opportunity, if it doesn't happen, you're going to lose everything, or this is only going to happen one time in your life. When you take that approach of bringing fear to the situation, it really takes away your power to show up and be present in that moment. So you have to take away the fear, these ideas of this is not going to happen again, or maybe I'm not the right person, or maybe I'm going to make a mistake, or, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Then you are creating more tension. You're creating more of a lower vibration, a lower frequency, and then that's not going to help your ability to actually create it. So identify the ego, identify the fear when it shows up for you as you are in the process of thinking, doing, and being the person you need to be to create the thing that you desire. When you acknowledge that fear, you must also realize that it is useless to you, that it has no purpose. You can, of course, acknowledge the fear, but you have to check it. You have to realize this fear is not real. Okay, this is a product of the ego. You are now controlling and managing the ego. Therefore, the fear is non and void. It doesn't work. It doesn't mean anything. It has no power over you. Now, as you move forward from that place and you continue to move forward without worrying about any excuses that the fear and the ego has created, then you can move forward fearlessly, empowered to create the life and the things that you wish to create. I hope that helps you. Thank you so much and continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.